In this section of training, we're going to review the 3 additional syllable types we've not yet covered. We'll provide a summary of R-controlled, Vowel Team, and Consonant LE syllables, offer some teacher tips for instructing students on these types, and do a syllable analysis activity on our own. Let's begin by talking about the R in clover. R stands for an R-controlled syllable. On the screen, you'll see the script for introducing an R-controlled syllable, as well as the card from Deck 8 to support instruction. Looking at the script, you'll see that an R-controlled syllable is identified by one vowel, and that one vowel is immediately followed by the letter R. So the order matters here. The R must come after the vowel, immediately after the vowel. When you see an R-controlled syllable, you can't assume that students will know how to pronounce those words. Each R-controlled vowel produces a unique sound that must be explicitly taught. If you're using our lesson plans on our website, you'll see that we practice by explicitly teaching each R-controlled vowel. Depending on the grade level that you're working with, several may be taught at one time. In your manual, we would like for you to complete the following activity. Using the word bank at the top of the page, we'd like for you to look at each pattern visually. Remember that the advantage to identifying a syllable type based on its visual characteristics allows you to rely on your knowledge of syllable types to support your decoding or your pronunciation of those syllables and words. This is, in fact, the benefit that students have from learning syllable types. So whereas adults tend to want to pronounce the word and listen to the vowel sound to determine the syllable types, it's the reverse process that we want to practice, because that's the process that we'll be instructing students to follow as well. So looking at the word bank, what we're looking for are these 2 characteristics: one vowel, and that one vowel is immediately followed by the letter R. If you see both of those characteristics, you know that it is an R-controlled vowel, and you would write the word in the R-controlled column. If for any reason the word does not contain both of those characteristics, you'll record it in the not R-controlled column. We'd also like for you to add some words to identify why you determined that that was not an R-controlled vowel or an R-controlled syllable. A few notes at the bottom of the page that we'd like to draw your attention to. R-controlled syllables trump closed syllables. So think back to what we know about closed syllables. We know what is similar is that they both contain one vowel. We also know they both must end in a consonant. So whereas many R-controlled syllables have those characteristics as well, R-controlled syllables are stronger because of that liquid R changing the vowel sound. So while it may look closed, it is not closed if the letter R immediately follows the vowel. Another thing that we need to be aware of as far as syllable types trumping one another or being stronger than one another is that a magic E syllable is in fact stronger than an R-controlled syllable. It does trump an R-controlled syllable. Thinking back to when you learned magic E, if you were to take the word car, which is an R-controlled syllable, and you were to add an E at the end, that E would in fact change the vowel and make it say a longer sound, care. Those are just a couple quick reminders to support you as you do this activity. Please pause the video until you've completed the activity and resume it to check your answers. Now that you have your activity complete, the next step is to read the words. You won't have any issues with the first 3 in the R-controlled column: car, or, and dorm. These nonsense words are intended to practice pronunciation and application. So, thord and herp would be the correct pronunciations. Taking a look at the not column, we have fresh. And the reason that fresh is not R-controlled is that the R is coming before the vowel and not after, so the order is the problem. The word here is not R-controlled because it contains 2 vowels. Again, if we were to take the E off the end, her would be R-controlled. That E at the end is in fact changing the vowel and making it say its name, sort of. Same with mare. Mare is not R-controlled because it has 2 vowels. RISP is not R-controlled because the letters are, again, in the wrong order. Neve has 3 vowels and no R. What is that E doing at the end of the syllable? Remember our rule? No English word ends with V, always followed by a silent E. That final E is all about the V and has nothing to do with the vowel sound in this syllable. Let's talk now about the V in clover. We'll explore the Vowel Team syllable. The Vowel Team syllable is a little tricky because it encompasses many different patterns. Let's take a look at the definition. The definition of a vowel team is 2 or more letters working together to make one vowel sound. Breaking that down for just a moment, we said 2 or more. Looking at the red underlined patterns on the Vowel Team card, we see in rain 2 letters are underlined. Need is 2, snow has 2, boat has 2, but light has 3. One vowel team that isn't pictured on this card actually has 4, E-I-G-H. So that's the reason for the 2 or more component of the definition. The second component is working together to make one vowel sound. Looking at the words in the left column, we have 2 letters, A-I, E-E, and O-W. Each of these pairs of letters is working together to make one vowel sound. Technically, what we call vowel teams are vowel digraphs, 2 letters making one sound, like O-A, A-I, E-E, and vowel diphthongs, 2 vowels beginning as one vowel sound and moving toward another, like O-I, O-Y, and OU. It's difficult for students to hear or tell the difference between vowel digraphs and vowel diphthongs, and it's a level of differentiation that doesn't seem to help our students. We put them together as one group of patterns that make up the Vowel Team syllable type. When working with vowel teams, we have to explicitly teach each vowel team pattern individually. Another layer of complexity here is that some vowel teams can produce more than one sound. And if the pattern makes more than one sound, we teach each pattern sound combination explicitly and separately. Anytime a grapheme makes multiple sounds, we teach the most common sound first, and give students time to internalize that before we introduce the second or the third sound. In this page in your manual, we'll also spend some time working through analyzing syllables to determine if they are vowel team syllables or not. But first, let's look at the yellow box at the bottom of the page. You'll see a reference to vowel team syllables in contrast to magic E syllables. Often, vowel teams, like magic E syllables, have vowels working together to make one sound. In a magic E syllable, the E at the end is causing the A to say its name. What's different about a magic E syllable and a vowel team syllable is that in magic E we have a specific pattern, one vowel followed by one consonant and a silent E. In a vowel team syllable, the letters that are working together must be touching. Also, within the yellow box at the bottom, you'll see which vowel teams are most problematic for students to recognize. It's easier for them to recognize the vowel teams that contain 2 vowels. The ones that contain consonants are often a little harder for them to get used to identifying as vowel teams. At the bottom of the screen, there is a reference to a common phrase that teachers use for introducing vowel teams to students. The phrase goes like this: when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. But did you know that out of the 33 possible vowel team combinations, this is only true 10 times, or 30%? For instance, let's think about the EA vowel team. When 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, so that would be the E. So EA does say E, as in eat and meat. But looking at the words bread and head, EA also says which is not the vowel's name. Finally, as in great and break, EA can also say A, which is also not the vowel's name. We would encourage you not to teach this phrase or rule. While it is often true in the first set of vowel teams taught, AI, AY, EE, EA, and OA, it quickly collapses as the vowel teams become more difficult. If taught in the first grade, subsequent teachers must unteach this rule, and we all know how hard it is to unlearn something. What we'd like for you to do now is pause the video and complete the activity that you see on the screen. When you're ready, please resume to check your answers. Reviewing our answers, we've identified that the vowel team syllables occur in the words sleep and leave. I'm going to pause at leave for just a moment because this often throws people off. They see the E at the end. Let's think about whether or not it's magic E. In a magic E syllable, we would have one vowel followed by one consonant and a silent E. It can't be magic E because we have two vowels and then a consonant and an E. So our only other choice here would be a vowel team. Let's think about why that E is at the end. Every time we see the letter V, we remember the rule that no English words end in V, always followed by a silent E. So that E there at the end has nothing to do with the vowel team in the word. It's only there because we can't let that word end with a V by itself. All right, let's continue. We have droop, might, and fees. The word fees is similar to the word leave. Let's think about why that E is there at the end. It has nothing to do with the vowel team. There's a reason the word ends with a silent E. Remember, in English, a single S at the end of a noun is reserved to indicate plural. Without the E, we would have multiple fee. So we add the E and end with fees. Then we have houn or hone, and finally lound. Words that are not vowel teams include yell. Yell because there's only one vowel, and it's making the vowel sound all by itself. Chite. Those two vowels are working together, but they're not touching. In fact, they're following that magic E pattern of one vowel, one consonant, one E. And then we have bry, which is not a vowel team because, again, the one vowel at the end is working all by itself. The last syllable type we'd like to go over is the L in clover. L stands for consonant LE. A consonant LE syllable is a little unique because it is the only syllable type we have that cannot stand alone. A consonant LE syllable must attach to another syllable. It also has place value. It cannot be the first syllable in a word. It will always come after another syllable. Typically, this is one of the last syllable types we teach, and that is because students have to have an understanding of at least some other syllable types to be able to read words that contain a consonant LE syllable. Again, we have both our teacher and student directions and our sample card from Deck 8 for instructing the syllable type. I want to point out that another unique feature of this card is the inclusion of numbers, which we will discuss in another video. When we pronounce consonant LE syllables, there are several different patterns. We have bol, fol, gul, dul, zul, etc. Pronunciation of these syllable types is pretty quickly generalized by students. They can learn to pronounce many of them at one time, so often that's the technique that you'll see used in our lesson plans. Another reminder with this activity is that because this is occurring in a multisyllabic word, we have given you multisyllabic words to analyze, and we have bolded the syllable that we want you to look at. In the first example, T-A-B-L-E, you're looking at the bolded B-L-E syllable to complete this activity. We'd like you to pause the video and complete the activity. When you're ready, resume it to check your answers. Okay, checking our answers. The following words do contain consonant LE syllables. We have table, noodle, angle, battle, derple, toozle, or tousle. The one that is not containing a consonant LE syllable is label. Again, the reason label is not is because the letters are not in the right order. BLE would be consonant LE, but BEL is not. Same with ongle, not in the right order. Yasket, that one is easy, there's no L. Fleeting, although the FLE at the beginning was bolded, consonant LE can never be the first syllable in a word, so it's in the wrong position. One quick note that I'd like to point out to you before we move on is on the right side of your screen. We have angle versus angel. These two words are commonly confused, not just with students, but with adults. How do we determine which one is correct? Let's look at the G in the letter that follows it. When the G is followed by an L, the G is going to say G. So A-N-G-L-E says angle. When the G is followed by an E, it's going to make a soft sound, J. So A-N-G-E-L is going to say angel. To quickly review, we use the mnemonic clover to help us remember the 6 syllable types that commonly occur in English. Again, C is closed, L is consonant L-E, O stands for open, V for vowel team, E for magic E, and R for R controlled. That concludes the section of training on syllable types.